All right. Good morning, friends. Good evening, friends. We have people from different parts of the world. It's really amazing to be here today. I hope everyone's able to hear me clearly and see me. My name is Loveleen Rayar, and I'm coming to you today from Canada. So, coming to you from my home to yours, and really from my heart to yours. I hope that this brief moment that we are together will bring something that we can both benefit from, we can all benefit from. So that's my only wish today, that whatever you hear today, you just listen to it with an open mind and then hoping that it will benefit you. That's wonderful. We do have the comment section, so if anybody needs to, I will be looking every now and then at the comments as well. If there's anything you need to write in there, please feel free to do that. Hopefully, I can make this a little bit of an interactive session, and that's really all. So, what am I here for today? I'm here to talk to you about a simple concept of breath. Excuse me. Breath that is so intimate, so essential to each one of us. And, from the time we come into this world, we're breathing. We're breathing even before that in our mother's womb. But this breath, sometimes we don't even pay attention to. So today, maybe we'll pay a little bit attention to that. And I'll take you through the journey that I went through with breath work, and hopefully some of you will take it up and benefit immensely. So basically, I live in Canada. I'm born and brought up in India. I was quite young when I came here and did all my studies here. I'm a naturopathic doctor. I studied here in Toronto, Canada. And, little things that led me to this journey. And we will talk about that journey. But before that, I just want to just mention a quote by Rumi. One of my favorite poets is that acceptance is the doorway to transformation. So what really is that? For me, it means that just being in the present, because a lot of times we fight with reality, but just being in the present brings that acceptance, and that acceptance leads to transformation. So breath work is that such doorway that can lead to transformation. It surely has in my life, and I'd just like to share that with you. So why breath work? Okay, if you have ever seen yourself struggling in life in different avenues, if you've ever asked yourself the question, why does this negative pattern keep repeating in my life? Why am I feeling anxiety or stress for no reason at all? Maybe there isn't even anything in my life currently that I should be anxious about, but still there's some underlying anxiety. Or you catch yourself not really responding, but reacting quickly to situations or to something somebody has said. And then later on, it's like, okay, no, that wasn't the best way, but you keep doing that again and again. Or you see yourself having better relationships, but somehow you haven't been able to manage that. Also, a lot of times we have visions. We want to get ahead in life. We want to do certain things in our life. We may have even in our mind laid out what this is, but something holds us back and we're not even aware of that. So if even, for a little bit, there's this thing that you feel that there's something holding you back, breathwork is an amazing, amazing avenue to help you in develop that. So what are the benefits of breathwork? Number one benefit, which I have also experienced myself, is self-awareness. Basically, it's a process that we can work on our emotions and heal trauma and pain in our life, which we may not even know where it's coming from. It helps improve relationships. It completely helps you come into awareness. It's an amazing tool for that. And breathwork itself is very meditative. So it can be a form of meditation as well. It helps to decrease stress and anxiety levels and release negative thoughts and energy blocks that we may be facing. However, consciously, we don't know what they are. So briefly about my journey. how did I get into breath work? Basically, around, I think about 3 years ago, a friend and myself, we were just having a casual conversation. A very dear friend of mine, she introduced me to this. Her name is Bulbul, so I do want to acknowledge that. We're just having a conversation. She's like, Loveleen, have you ever heard of the presence process? I'm like, no, I have no clue what it is. So she pointed me to the book by Michael Brown, which is based on conscious connected breathing. I literally got that book right away. And as soon as I got it, I started reading it. I read it from cover to cover. And then I started following Michael Brown's, instructions on how to do it. It's actually a 10-week process, what I did. While I was still in about week 4, then another beautiful friend of mine, Nandini, she mentioned Krishna Bhavin to me, and she said, Bhavin is doing this course. Since you're doing the presence process, he does something on WhatsApp which brings people together who are doing conscious connected breathing. So I was like, wonderful. And I ended up finding Bhavin at that time. I joined his course, the Emotional Mastery course, and it was just amazing. It was amazing to validate my experience. It was amazing to have a group support. So for all my listeners today, I would like to tell you that if you do intend on doing the longer process, it's important to get supported by somebody who's familiar with this. And in my case, that was Bhavin. He has this amazing program, WLT. All the information will be shared with you on this site, on this group, so you can look it up afterwards. There'll be a phone number for you to call in case you need any help or if you want to get started. And just want to talk a little bit about this program, the Whole Life teachings, the Whole Life training. This is an amazing program. I've been part of it now. This is my 2nd year, and Bhavin is the facilitator for that. It's just the most amazing program. If you want to live a life that's whole, not just in one avenue but different avenues, so that could be your health, your physical health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, and your relationships. You can learn about these and live them 1 month at a time. Also, he does seminars which are on the first Saturday of every month. They happen in the evening, and again, you can get information about that. And then if you need hand-holding for this process, that's where you can get it. So it's the healing comes, from every avenues of our life, especially the emotional stuff that we're handling, that we're dealing with. We don't even know where it is, but we are not aware of it, but we can take care of it just through this amazing breathing process. Okay, so that's briefly my journey. I've done 2 cycles of this already. I'm in the 3rd cycle. This is my last week again doing it. So Michael Brown, in his own words, he goes, this is a tool you can pick up whenever you need, and then you can drop it. We live life, we go through all these different things depending on the stages we're in life, and we take it. Okay, so what next? Now, how has the breathing, the conscious connected breath benefited me? In my life, what I've noticed is since I started doing it, so many things have fallen into place. My relationships have improved, the way I respond. Before I could have been quick to just react just because what somebody has said to me or the way somebody has been with me, I could react to it. Why? Because I was reacting to the patterns in my life on how I grew up. And now I can actually step back, and even in that moment, I can see how that's affecting me. If somebody has been rude to me, let's say, for example, right away, I can connect with my feelings. I can connect with the sensations in my body. And honestly, more often than not, they take me a lot of times to a feeling like this that I felt in my childhood or in my teenage years. And for example, there was one time someone said something to me, and right away I could connect how it made me feel when I was a child. It brought back feelings of unworthiness. So at that moment, I didn't have to react to the person who was talking to me because I knew this was something coming from my subconscious. and I could just respond. I could just feel what I was feeling, and I could separate myself from the story of how this person has been with me. So can you imagine if you're living your life like that, how beautiful your relationships can be? Also, one really important fact that it has helped me, and along with Bhavin's program that I'm in, is my work. Okay, I've been very fortunate to have, a lot of abundance around me, but somehow I myself, even though I had all these visions on how to do my work, how to get to it, I just couldn't get the wheels rolling. But this has been amazing, how I could get the wheels rolling, and how now it's just automatic. It's not an effort. Before I was trying hard, making an effort. Hey, I need to do this. I need to do that. Now it's everything's coming to me in a way that's so amazing, and it just flows. And I'm so blessed because of that. So that's why it's very close to me. So now I want to talk a little bit about, okay, great. I'm seeing some comments. So what exactly is breath work? Any therapy that takes breathing exercises into account and helps you get through your life and healing processes through the breath work is, through breathing exercises, is breath work. It's been practiced for centuries. It mainly comes from the Eastern spiritual traditions. But in the last, let's say, I think about 40 to 50 years, since the 60s, 70s, it's been popularized in the Western world as well. And a lot of rebirthing, breath work, different types of breath work. Today, I'm just going to be talking about the conscious connected breathing, especially the 20 connected breaths, which Leonard Orr introduced. And he's available. You can see that on YouTube. There's demonstrations of that. Many different people have done it. Leonard Orr himself has demonstrated it. So you guys can go look at it. And if later on, if there's comments and you need specific links, we can post that as well later on. And then what is the premise? Like, what is really conscious connected breathing? It's a synergistic combination of breath work and body experiencing. So as we breathe, use this breath work, it brings out some sensations in us. And it's basically just sitting back and just feeling those sensations without reading into it. What it does is, the goal of conscious connected breath is that it clears blockages, and this is a circular breathing. What the circular breathing does, it brings to surface tensions and the different sensations in the body. So basically, as you breathe and then you just observe, these sensations come up, and you're just being an observer of those sensations, and that clears blockages. This is like a resolution. Resolution is the key. Whatever tensions and sensations are coming up, us paying attention to it resolves it. And many a times, like I said, in my life, when I was practicing, even older memories could come to surface, where I could see, oh, okay, this is what the pattern in my life is. This is why I feel a certain way. Because somebody can say something to two people. One person just looks at it and hears it. Another person reacts in a really bad way. So that's because of our patterns in our life, right? So again, just to summarize, I'm just going to look at... Okay, great. Akshay's posted some stuff online about the WLT program, so you guys can take a look at that afterwards. All right. So just to summarize, basically where we are today is a result of our past. The way we grew up, the experiences we had, we went through some life traumas, and that brought in some beliefs in us. Today, we're not talking about the positive, the beliefs that help us. We all have that, and that's amazing. The conscious connected breath is focusing on beliefs that create negative patterns in us, and that's what we want to work on. So since the past colors our response, the emotions are like that stuck energy. Okay, So this stuck energy is what needs to move. And when this stuck energy moves, we can live powerful, joyous lives. So breath and emotion is very interconnected, okay? And then from breath, we have our feelings and sensation. Feeling is in the heart, and then sensations are actual physical sensations in our body. So in my personal experience, when I did the conscious connected breath, and then later on, I'm just sitting silently, a lot of different things came up. In my first cycle, I used to experience restless leg a lot. In my first cycle, this restless leg was so strong. Maybe I wasn't even experiencing it at that moment in my life. But when I did the conscious connected breath and then I just sat, I could just feel this restless. It was so bad, I couldn't sit still for even a few seconds. I had to like literally, hit my legs so they could get comfortable, so I could get comfortable. But now in my third cycle, it's barely there. And I can see that in my life as well, the way I respond to different things. Okay, so it's really, really amazing. All right, so I've spoken a little bit about what conscious connected breathing is, what breath work is. I'm looking at my time as well. I'm just going to see if there's any questions. So true. Yes, we'll talk about. Okay. Great. So now I'm going to talk about what are the rules. So practically, if people who are listening to me today want to take this forward, what are the rules of conscious connected breathing? Okay. So the number one rule is that it is a connected breath. That's where we call it conscious connected breathing. Okay. So as we're breathing in and breathing out, there's no gap. It's a gapless breath. It actually just becomes circular. I will demonstrate it as well a little bit later on. The second is that the inhale is forced, a little bit noisy, but the exhale just falls down. It's very, very relaxed. And the last thing is that the timing, the inhale and the exhale are equal. So for example, if you see that you're breathing in for 4 seconds, you're breathing out for 4 seconds as well. And mostly this is automatic for most people. And then when you're actually doing the conscious connected breath, don't worry about, if you're doing it a little bit faster or a little bit slower than other people. As long as the rules of it being a continuous breath, inhale and exhale are equal, and then the inhale is a little bit forced and exhale is relaxed. So just a little bit of a demonstration, okay? Basically, I'm gonna demonstrate one of the first conscious connected breathing, okay? That is like this. It goes like this. So that's basically how we're breathing. In the 20 connected breaths, and you guys can look up 20 connected breaths online. There's many demonstrations of that. Basically what that is, it is 4 short breaths and 1 long breath. So again, I'm going to demonstrate how that goes. All right, let's start. So if you can notice, I'm basically having a continuous breath without gaps in between. There were 4 shorter breaths and then 1 long breath at the end. Sometimes when you come home after, these days where most of us are already home, but if you've had a long day, you've been stressed, and then you just like plop yourself on your sofa, and what happens? Automatically you're breathing. So this is like that automatic breath, the inhalation is forced and the exhalation just drops. That's exactly what the conscious connected breathing is. All right. So who's ready for practice? Can we do a little bit of practice? All right. Okay, so there are 5 different five different types of breaths that we do in conscious connected breathing. Not everybody does the 5 breaths. I'm not going to go into each one, but I'm going to talk about just 2. All right. So what are these 2? The first is that forced inhalation and relaxed breath. where you can actually hear. So for example, right now, okay, so this is what I'm going to be doing. There's going to be 4 short and 1 long breath. So and just as this finishes, I start again with the 4 short. So this is the first type of breath. Your mouth is closed, you're breathing in, and you're letting the exhalation drop. And then the second is where you're doing the exact same thing, but it is quiet, okay? So I hope everyone is getting that. I'm just going to quickly glance over. Right, I have a comment here that the breath is also a bridge from our invisible source to our physical being. Absolutely right. Thank you for that. Okay, I think we can practice right now. Let's see, just gonna see my timing. All right, maybe before starting the practice, I'm going to quickly look over that I've covered everything. So I want to just make sure again, I really cover the part of our visions. Our vision is connected to our beliefs. And in life, even when, like I mentioned, when we want to accomplish something, but somehow something holds us back and we're not able to. So the beliefs and emotions are connected to our visions. So if our beliefs and emotions are taken care of, they are resolved, then our visions automatically take that, that automatically happens. All right. Manmohan, okay, breathe. Thank you, Manmohan. Okay, wonderful. Great. So let's do practical. I think that's the best thing to do right now. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to do a total of 100 breaths. It sounds a lot, but honestly it's not. It's barely 5 minutes. And once we're done that, we'll have like 1 or 2 minutes of silence. And then if anyone wants to comment, I will just take a look at that. So basically, again, one quick demonstration, okay, of both the breaths, and we're going to be doing the first breath continuously for 50 breaths. So that's one set is 5 breaths, and then we're going to repeat that 10 times. So that's 50 breaths. And then the second type of breathing, again, the same way. I'll just prompt you in between when the first type of breathing is finished and we start with the second one, okay? I hope that's good for everyone. So here we go. All right. So I'm just going to demonstrate once more, okay? Here we go. So that's one set. All right, I hope everyone's ready to begin. Before we begin, let's just take 3 deep breaths, just like you've plopped yourself on your sofa and you're ready again for the day. All right, ready to begin. Here we go. You guys can just close your eyes, and if you need to look at me every now and then, you can open your eyes, but honestly, you don't need to. Just trust in yourself. You can do it. And really, don't worry about you doing it right or wrong. Just do it today. You'll have plenty of time to practice if this is the first time you're doing it. Awesome. Ready. Last one in this. Now moving on to the quiet breath. Last set. Now just return to normal breathing and just relax. Relax into anything, whether you're feeling any sensation or not. And if there are any sensations, just be a silent observer. All right, wonderful. You can just rub your hands and just cover your eyes gently and take your time and open your eyes if they were closed. Honestly, I don't feel like opening my eyes right now. Okay. I hope this was good for the people who've seen it and who will be seeing it. This is basically how conscious connected breathing works. I'm just feeling so calm right now. There's no nerves at all. It doesn't matter how many people I'm talking to, how many people are going to listen to this after. All that matters is I'm coming to you from my heart to yours, from my home to yours. And I hope these few moments that we have here together will spark something in you so that you can go ahead and experiment with this, learn this, pick up this tool, and you can, basically get help by this and lead the best, powerful, joyous life for yourself that I personally am experiencing. Okay, so we do have a little bit of time. If there are any comments, okay, I don't see any questions. I can take some questions right now. Otherwise, I'll go into the next step that's really dear to my heart, which is actually, Riti, thank you. So nice to have you here. Which comes from the conscious connected breathing that Michael Brown teaches. And I honestly really love the way he teaches, and it's called the Presence Book. So that's the name of the book is the same as the Presence Process. Sorry, the Presence Process is the name of the book. The author is Michael Brown. And in his words, what Michael Brown talks about what conscious connected breathing is. I just want to quote him right. So I'm just going to see if I can find his quote. So in his own words, it's a means to empower us to take responsibility for the quality of our experience. That's what breathing does. That's what conscious connected breathing is. That's what the presence process is. A lot of times we give responsibility for our life experience to others, and as long as we leave our the quality of our life dependent on other people, how people behave with us, how somebody mentions us, how somebody is to us, we can never improve our quality of life. And that's where I'm reminded of Rumi's quote again, that acceptance is the doorway to transformation. So for me, the conscious connected breath has really brought me into awareness. It's brought me into this acceptance of life. That acceptance doesn't mean that, you are a passive observer. You are in life fully. However, whatever happens, whatever the situation is, you also accept that fully. So that's where the transformation lies. Somebody's asking for a recording. It will actually stay on this channel, Sanjay, so you can hear it again and again. Preeti, so wonderful to have you here as well. Thank you for that. Thank you for attending. All right, so that's the presence process. What else? Okay, since I do have a little bit of time, I will go into the 5 different breaths which we do in the conscious, the 20 connected breaths. Okay, so we already talked about the first one. The first one is that noisy inhale, again, mouth closed. So it's this. All right. I may look funny because I know my nostrils go in, but that's okay. This is what it's all about, okay? Look funny, be happy, but just do it and live amazing lives. All right. And then the second one is with the mouth closed, but then your tongue is rolled up between your upper teeth and your upper lip. So it's something like this. And once you have this, then you're breathing with it, okay? So it goes like this. So that's the second connected breath. Now the third one is with the mouth open and breathing through the mouth. So this is how it goes. So you're breathing in and out through your mouth. Your mouth is open, obviously, to do that. Now, the fourth one is basically leaving your mouth open, but breathing in through your nose. So this is how it goes. Okay, wait, I think I need to demonstrate that better. So mouth is open, but the breath is through the nose. So even though I've done it so many times, automatically when the mouth is open, you somehow want to breathe through your mouth. So again, I have a question. I will answer that. The last one is the quiet breath we did. That's number 5. So basically, these are the 5 type of breaths. What you want to do is you want to practice this breathing for at least 10 sets each breath. That takes you to 50 times 5. That's 250 breaths. It's probably anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes. And once you practice that, then you just want to sit quietly. So I have a question. What happens when you breathe like this? So when we are doing a conscious connected breathing, it connects, it brings our feelings and emotions, and it brings sensations in us. When these sensations come, then when we observe these sensations, these are basically related to our past trauma, past beliefs. And we know that our present is colored by our past. So as we practice this slowly and steadily every day, and this is a practice you want to be consistent in. Once you're consistent in this practice, what happens is in everyday life, like the benefits I shared, what happened in my life, you are able to respond from a mature space. You're able to respond without reacting. And for example, let's say, in the heat of the moment, you react as well. But many times, even while in that reaction, that presence comes forth. Those feelings, you become aware of those feelings and those sensations in your body, and you're able to take a step back. So, thank you so much. Beautiful comment. So basically what happens when we do this conscious connected breath, the sensations come up, we integrate the sensations, and that is the entire power. So you would do this every day. Once you've done the breathing, then you're actually going to sit in that quiet space, which we did just barely for a minute today. So you can do this conscious connected breath for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then sit quietly for 15 minutes. And that will be the transformation. And I tell you, it's happened in my life. That's the only reason I'm sharing it. That's the transformation in your life. We don't have to do all 5 sittings, okay? I mean, we don't have to do all 5 breaths. I just mentioned all 5. You guys can experiment with all 5. The different breaths can bring up different sensations for you. You can practice only one breath. You can practice, the main one that I practice with the presence process is the noisy inhale and the exhalation. And in that, I'm not even doing the sets. I'm just doing that continuously for 15 minutes. So it's something like this. So this will be done for 15 minutes and then sitting quietly in 15 minutes. So you can take one of those 5 breaths, or you can take all 5 and do them in sets. It's all up to you how you feel it. How many times in a day should we do it? Yes, twice is wonderful. And initially, I would only start with 5 minutes, and then you can slowly increase it. And if you need hand holding, please look up at the resources that were posted on this group, and you can actually get hand holding as well. I'll put my email address as well. Actually, let me type it in right now so everyone can have it. And Riti, I know you have my email address already. So those of you don't, you can, and I can guide you to the right resources. That's loveleenrayar@gmail.com. Okay. So yes, we want to do this twice a day. Start off with 5 minutes, and then you can increase it. So right now I'm on the 10th week of my 3rd cycle. So I'm actually doing twice a day The entire one sitting is 30 minutes. 15 minutes of this active breathing and 15 minutes of just relaxed observation. Okay. So great. Yes, Akshay has put up this link, which is you can receive a daily message from Krishna Bhavin. It's amazing. Even just reading that every day can make transformation in your life. So if you want that, please go to that link and you'll receive a WhatsApp message every day. It's a broadcast list. Okay, great. So I'm almost done now. I have a few minutes left. I hope that I put, gave you some value today. I'm really honestly speaking from my heart, and I would love for everyone to benefit from this. So if for friends who are listening, please share this with other people as well. They can join the group, and this recording is available along with my recording. There are recordings of other topics as well. Please have a listen on them. And Bhavin shares his talks very frequently as well. So please have a listen on those as well. So with that, I think I'm done. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you sharing these moments with me that are so close to my heart. I want to, it's already written the authors where this work has been taken from. And I want to personally thank all my teachers. I got introduced to spirituality young, but then along the way, there's been so many teachers in my life. And one of those teachers is definitely Krishna Bhavin. Another teacher I really want to say thanks to is Nitya Shanti. You were that key instrumental person in my life in my initial stages where I was going through, this reaction and not knowing how to integrate myself, and you really helped me in that, and I'll be forever indebted. Oh, it's so emotional. All right, thank you everyone for watching, and please share it with as many people as you can, and hope that I can add value to everyone's life. Thank you so much. Take care, and I will be ending now.